Okay, video three, moving on. So on top of this infrastructure blockchain technology, that's this unhackable integrity, immutability, provides all these advantages. You have um, what we would call primarily digital currency, digital wallets, digital banking. So um, cryptocurrencies leverage public-private key pairs that are also known as asymmetric public key cryptography. What this means is it has two keys. It has a public key that can be shared with anyone, and all it's good for is receiving payments. That number can be plugged into a blockchain browser, and every transaction ever completed with that key for its history forever is always visible forever and ever. That's what I mean. It's auditable and it's publicly visible iterative ledger. The private key is secret and is used for sending payments. This key can be encrypted on a hardware wallet, something like a Trezor that's like a thumb drive size, or a software wallet on a phone, a browser plugin. There's tons of options here. It can also be hard coded onto a microchip. Additionally, in addition to you could put any information. It doesn't just have to be cryptocurrency information. You could put social securities, financial and bank info, driver's license, other documents required by governments. You can think about what those may be. Passports, other things governments require right now to enter different places could be hard coded onto a chip, and it would be immutable. It would have all these advantages described previously. Now, currently, blockchains are primarily decentralized. Participants are incentivized to include themselves by receiving a very small payment every time a transaction occurs, and those add up, and over time, it makes it worth it for them to host the blockchain on their own servers. Well, any entity could centralize and control all of the nodes of the blockchain. And if they do that, it would allow for absolute complete control of the monetary system. Those found in violation of anything could have all their assets frozen immediately. So there's a lot of advantages from a practical sense on why this is inevitably going to happen. It prevents bank runs. The rate of withdrawal or transactions could be slowed. It could be throttled to a trickle. It would eliminate inflation, provide auditability and accountability, and so on. Prevent money laundering, financial crimes. It would be total accountability for every penny ever spent anywhere. So before we move on, it's worth noting that everything anybody would do would be monitored. Donating to a political group, a church, giving money to individuals, everything would be on that blockchain forever, fully auditable. All right, moving on. Clean energy, biomechanical. Biomechanical energy is harvesting from human motion, presents a promising clean alternative to electrical power supply by batteries for portable electronic devices, computerized, motorized prosthetics. Basically, what this is saying is the movement of your body, the kinetic energy, from all the different types of motion in your body could be harnessed to power a very small battery. So you wouldn't have to worry about solar or replaceable batteries or anything like that. You could keep a battery topped off indefinitely as long as you're living. So basically, the human being is the battery at that point. Nanotech. I'll summarize. Basically, this is extremely small technology. Sometimes these devices are self-replicating. They're theorized. They may be able to be programmed to track down abnormal growths like cancer and attack and eliminate them in the body. There's tons of medical applications. This is definitely an emerging technology. It's got a long way to go, but it could easily include things like cellular communications, GPS, other things typically associated with a smartphone. This could be reduced to a microscopic size and have the same functionality. It could be subcutaneous and injectable, and this is actually in place today. There are many countries you can go on an unbiased search engine like DuckDuckGo and do some research, and you can quickly find a lot of companies have voluntary application of this. There are several global governments that require federal employees to have these injectables. Sweden is already implementing this, as shown here, for various types of records. You can dig offline on this, and you'll find this is actually becoming fairly common today. All right. Next is wireless communications, wireless payment, and so on. This is a bit of a conjecture, but I think NFC is a very suitable and elegant solution for what is described by the mark. It's basically a short range communication up to 4 centimeters. The reason it has an advantage over Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and some other things is it encrypts. It has a higher degree of security. It's very short range, so it makes hacking very difficult. You basically have to touch somebody to have any chance of trying to do like a man-in-the-middle attack or to interfere with a transmission or something like that. Much more secure short range, and it requires synchronization. So there's a lot of advantages here to using NFC over some competitors. Something may emerge that's superior to this, but for now, this is probably the front runner. It's also built into all our mobile devices already. If you've ever tapped a credit card on a payment screen and didn't have to put the chip into a port, it used NFC to read the magnetic strip. This is very common. It's already built into all our devices. It would be a very natural transition to move this to a subcutaneous injectable nanotech. All right, moving on. Artificial intelligence is intelligence demonstrated by machines as opposed to natural intelligence displayed by animals and humans. So all of this we're describing would require the ability to process nearly infinite amounts of data instantly in real time. AI provides this solution. Everything from spending habits, location data, genetic information, political affiliation, social contacts, interactions, religious affiliation. Remember, if this device is recording your proximity with total precision, it knows who you're talking to, who you're standing near, where you're going to talk to them. Everything you do monitored, recorded, and logged on the blockchain forever. So it could always go, officials could always go back and pull this data and see everything you've ever done, possibly even recording conversations and so on. So AI provides that the sorting and filtering and correlation that is required to utilize all this data. All right, so here's the hypothesis. All these technologies are in place today. They continue to improve. However, they could satisfy all the requirements that describe the mark. So there is no precursor required. Everything needed to create this mark and implement it is in place right now. And that wasn't true for 99% of human history. So the theory is, because current are based on mRNA instructions, you can research that, this could be transmitted contactless, possibly through a wireless transmission mechanism. This method would allow for all mutations and variants to be addressed immediately in real time. No need to go into a clinic or have wait in line. If this could be transmitted wirelessly, it would be a far superior solution. This is similar to how computer antivirus software auto-updates its definition files in order to correctly identify the digital signatures of known malware. Same concept, but instead of a digital signature, it would be a viral signature. Same exact idea. So we will pause and go to the next video.